What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. Hey guys, so listen. Shannon Sharpe has made a statement and he announces that he is temporarily stepping away from ESPN amid the essay allegations. So his statement says, "My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues." Shannon Sharpe. Ah, is it wishful thinking on his part? Now, listen, I feel like it's too early for him to say that he's temporarily stepping away and then pretty much saying, "This is when I'm coming back." Because who's to say that more isn't going to come out where they're going to make the decision that, and where we don't want you back. And for him to say overwhelming support, it makes it sound as if people like myself, people like others that are out here letting people know how they feel about his disgusting ass is not happening. But see, that's the type of person that he is because he ignores the stuff like that. And there have been a few times in the past where someone may have called him out on something, and then he took the time out of his so called busy schedule to respond to people that are saying things to him, adding him, or whatever that are not favorable to what he wants to hear. So I can't feel bad for him, but I feel like he's letting people know he's coming back and is saying the start of the NFL preseason is him being extremely cocky, but that's him. And then saying that he is going to be responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations. You put this on yourself. Disruptive. You really thought that it was just going to continue to be sweet for you? You know, when he is still having this arrogance in the midst of all of this, had the nerve to try to stamp Jay-Z's name in the situation to make it seem like they got something in common. All right. And then to say that I will be returning. I feel like it's up to the network to say he will be returning and when he will be returning. So for him to just say, "I'm temporarily stepping away and this is when I'm going to be coming back," I feel is extremely arrogant. And whether people want to just try to stamp the word consensual on this relationship 100%, I already said this, and this is just fact. Even if you don't like it, no does mean no. So even if she's an OnlyFans model, she sells each cheek for 25 grand, she sells the hole for whatever, she sells the other hole for whatever, and then the other hole for whatever. And if you know, you know, and he is okay with all of that and he's paying for it, and then she's accepting and all that, fine. But it doesn't mean that she does not have the right to say no at some point in time. And in that audio, well, one of the audios, because we know there's a few of them, she said, or maybe it was the freaking text message. I can't remember. Shoot, it's so much disgusting crap at this point. I can't keep up with it all. But she said, "You didn't put a condom on and you put it in my you know what." She wasn't okay with that. That is a crime. So, I mean, I'm not wishing this on him, guys. I don't care what anybody thinks about what I think. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying I'm not wishing this on him. But who's to say that she wouldn't still press charges, because people love to go with this line. Well, if I did something wrong, why didn't you go to the police? It doesn't mean that she isn't going to go. She might want to secure her check first before she does that. And I can't say I'm mad at her, because he did this to himself. So for him to say, I'm coming back, and this is when I'm coming back, and not the network saying that, is extremely arrogant. He really is feeling himself. And so, listen, I don't know what is going to come next. And I'm not saying I'm wishing anything else bigger happens to him, but sometimes there's other things going on in the background that we don't know about. And then it leads to other things happening. So, him starting out the statement about him stepping away temporarily to say that the relationship was 100% consensual, he's still trying to convince people that it was. And I would be honest, for those executives over there at ESPN, which a lot of them probably have daughters that look like Gabby, they probably are not feeling him too much right now and are looking for a way to say, you know what, let's just completely get rid of him. Save ourselves some money, save ourselves some headache, because I'm sure some of them really want to see his head on a swivel, because they're angry that this big black man was screwing this little white girl. And people can say she was legal, she is an adult, all of that stuff. And all of that stuff may be true, but it doesn't take away people's emotions and their feelings. And we know a lot of times people act in their emotions and their feelings, especially executives. Maybe they shouldn't, but a lot of times they do. So what he did was wrong, and he can't blame anybody but himself. But for him to say he's temporarily stepping away and I'm coming back, and this is when I'm coming back before the network says it, is crazy. So we're going to see what happens. But honestly, I would not be surprised if they sever ties with him completely, or they dwindle some things down, at least for a time period longer than what he's claiming. So we're going to see what comes next, guys. I'm going to continue to talk about it. And so you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking and subbing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.